recording the week 14. Week 14, next 17, April 17 is the last day of the semester. And then once the class are done in April 21st, you will have summer vacation. And then we will start in August 7, the next semester, which is called Fall 2023. As far as I know, until now, the school will have the next week the early registration. You will receive the notification and email from the school. So next Monday, if you want to register early, you can do it. If you don't want it, you can wait until the regular registration. I will keep you, and the school will keep you updated when is the regular registration. It's not going to be now. Usually it's closer to the new semester, but they will do early just next week, one week, and then they close the system until the next formal registration, which is going to be close to August. So another information that you always ask me is, if you do early registration, the school will ask for the payment for this registration in that week. If the student do not make payment, usually the system kick you out of the early registration. Again, if you don't do early, it's not gonna be a problem because we will have another day for registration. When is exactly, the school will give us information about that, but it's gonna be close to August. Okay, so I hope this information help you. If there is something else that you would like to ask, just ask me, don't worry, or put it on the chat. I see the chat. Good afternoon, Karim. I see you. Larissa, tell me what you want to say.
Can you just repeat when the date is for the early registration?
Yes, it's I'm gonna confirm you exactly what the dean say to me. He put me early registration, 17 April 17 until April 21st for fall 2023, 1 week only. That's the information I have right now.
Okay.
And the school is setting up all the courses in the system right now, so you can be able this Monday to start to register. If you would like to register early, it's an optional, it's not obligation. You can do it later when the school tell you the official registration. But if you want to do early, remember it's next week and it's 17, 18, 19, 20. I advise you don't do anything Friday because the school is closed. So if you want to call or to go in person, nobody will be there. So preferably do everything until Thursday so you are not stressed with anything. And another thing is, Richard, hello, I see you. So another thing is, if you want to do everything you want to do in the school, don't do Friday better because sometimes you wanted to go or you want to call or something, and I don't want you in this stress. But yeah, you can do everything at home. You don't have to go to do early registration. You can do it in your house, in your home, in your computer, or in your phone. And the system, your Populi will show you something that say registration. You will notice it's gonna be able, but when they close the early registration, the option disappear until they open again. Okay, so my ones that want to ask more or something's happening, send me a message in WhatsApp and then I can find help or anything. Usually I am not able to add courses. most of the time, almost 10% of the time, I don't have access. So it's the register, the person which is authorized, and she have access to make changes. So yeah. Eh, anyway, don't worry about this now because not everybody will want to do it, but just to let you know, okay? Because you asked me those kind of things. So uh, what else? What else you have? Okay, so today is developing leadership skills, getting the best from you as leaders, obtaining the best from others as individuals, as a persons, in order to achieve the objectives that we have. We have individual objectives and also professional objectives in the organization. Remember, and you tell me that in other courses, motivation, the motivation that give you the power, let's call it this way, the power to achieve your objectives. And I remember that you say this in the class too, that some of your motivations comes from outside or inside of you, and this is the same material that we always see in this leadership um, content. Another aspect that you will see all the time is the research. Anything is proof that is really 10% effective. That's something you will read all the time and you will hear all the time. Anything is proving leadership that is effective because humans, because many characteristics of the individuals, so nothing needs proof that is completely effective, but we will share the strategies that researchers have been recommending to us, and also maybe you and me, we can share strategies that help us, that help you, and that help me in order to achieve our objectives individually, professional, all of that. And that you see, they give you results. And if they give you results, keep working with them, because as soon as you, obtain this growing part, this, it's called officially developmental readiness. That's the word. That's the name. So what is that? This ability that you have in all of you, you have it to find the best ways to make yourself improve, to make yourself grow in these different areas that you are committed right now. So that's what we're gonna talk today. And also, what kind of strategies you and me can use to increase or improve in the leadership area. We mentioned that before. For example, the training. We mentioned that the training, finding training waves, okay, training options. I mean, training options for your team and for yourself. We also mentioned evaluation. Evaluation is another way where we can implement or develop the leadership skills. And evaluation, for example, let's say I sit down with some of you. Salima was talking with me before, right? So we sit down together and see how is the progress of on Salima on certain things. Or let's say, for example, that Larissa that was talking now, she completed a questionnaire, and I sit down with her, or Gulchan sit down with her and explain her, okay, Larissa, look, you have these strong points that make you amazing leader in this company, and we have to take care of certain aspects to help you to grow in other aspects, for example, right? So this kind of evaluation, also you can see the 360 evaluation is one of the ways that we can see in business, in organizations, how to study the development of individuals. That's one of the ways. And I will show you something very important because the activity today is just to answer a question. Is not multiple choice like we usually do. So probably I won't, when we do this kind of questions, I don't tell you, let's do it right now. You can do it if you want, but you have time to do it because I know you like to sit down and think and type and everything, so it's okay. But we're going to see it together so you know what is pending. And it's gonna be almost the last one, and then I think it's another question, and then you will be done. I'm gonna just check with you so you can be set up in your mind, and that's all we have to do the rest of the semester, nothing else. Some of you asked me about final activity, stuff like that, or final test. There is nothing like that right now. I'm going to show you. So nothing else. And that's going to be the last, the last, the last, let's say the final test of the semester, okay? Let me show you something real quick here. Review final consideration. So I'm doing something for you here, okay? So that's why I'm here in looking something. I have some things to you. We don't gonna take a lot. Oh my goodness, I'm sharing my screen. No. Okay, so here I have in my screen. Not sharing, not yet. So I have in my screen another important aspect. If you have 0 in one of the assignments, in some assignments, in more than one, it's not panic. Don't panic. That means I'm waiting for you. So once you submit it, your grades, you will see the change in your grades. So no panic if I put you 0. That means, hey, this is the flag. I'm waiting for you. I have a lot of good grades here. My one of my highest for this until now. If I don't mention your name, it doesn't matter because remember we still have time to improve. But I have here in my list Nilima Kera with 100 in the class. So thank you, Nilima, for your effort. And yes, and I also have Gulshan Nasir Turk with awesome grade in this class. Kusbu Kumari Patel also with also, one of the highest level. Resma Panghwani, I have here on my list. I have Salima Farid Koha too with awesome grades. I still have more, but I'm saying those because they are the ones that are showing highest level of progress. I also have here on my list Dun Tui Ding with a high level grades, Nadia Luisa Dacuña too, Roberta Aparecida, and also I have Carolini Campos Resende, Tan Mohamed Arif, thank you so much, and Araceli Angelo de Ramos. Those are right now my highest. My other students, for example, I have Richard with a high level of in his grade. Yes, that's in general. But I also have a lot of good grades. It's just that I highlight these names because they showing me the highest for this time. Somebody wanna say something? Bilal,
Yes,
tell
ma'am, I
me.
want to say I think you just forgot to take my name in the highest.
You are in progress. You are in progress, Bilal. I know you're gonna get there, but yes, you owe me some stuff, so that's why I didn't mention you yet. I didn't mention you yet. But my others, I didn't mention some people that have amazing grades, but I just mentioned my highest amounts on grades here, but we still have time. We still have time. So right now, the grades that you are seeing, thank you, Bilal, for your contribution. And then you still see in some activities based on chapter 12, based on chapter 13, chapter 14, you don't have your grades in those. Based in the article 10, some of you do not have grades. Okay, in the chapter 13, I mentioned cross-cultural. Some of you don't have grades yet. So that means it's my part. I have 50 questions to verify. So that means I have work to do, and you will see your improvement in this week. In this week, you will see changes. Okay, my ones that have zero in some assignment means, hey, I'm waiting for you. Please send it to me, and I will check, and you will see the change as soon as you send it, okay? So no panic, no stress, no nothing. I also, I'm laughing because what Bilal say. I also have to mention two gentlemen here that I didn't mention yet, but they have high level of grade. Is Karim Yusuf. I didn't mention his name, if I'm not mistaken, and also Mohamed Al Mamoun with good grades here in this class. So yeah, and last but not least, just don't want to leave anybody.
Even
It's hard.
my grade is good too.
Huh?
My grade is good too.
This is Salima, right? Salima
Yes,
voice? Who is there?
yes, I'm Salima here.
I say your name. You were one of the first I mentioned.
Yes,
Yes.
I told you mine is good first.
Yeah, I mentioned your name. Yeah. You are doing good. So yes, we don't make the class I say that we make it easy going. I know this one was a little bit every time two assignment, but I don't see you have problem. You did it very well. So yes, everybody did a good job. Let's go with something I want to explain to you, and that's it. But before I keep going, that's it. What activity today is the last one. Next week, I don't have anything else. So that's it. We're gonna have the class,
Ma'am,
but
the
no
last
no
activity
activity.
is the activity 13. There is no activity 14.
Okay, let me see what I did. I'm gonna show you my screen, okay? And you tell me what happened. Okay, here. Okay, so what I believe is that this week is the last activity and you won't have anything else. So chapter 14, look, if you go to week 14 in week 14 lesson, let me do it from 0 so you can see what I did. Week 14, I click on that, and then you open chapter 14, developing leadership skill. Oh my goodness. I'm showing your stuff. Okay, sorry about that. So here, this is the final activity. 5 questions and you are done. So features of
But the activity is not open, ma'am.
is not open. 14, developing
Yeah,
leadership skill
yeah.
is
It's not okay. So
available. Ah,
it's not letting us go into the lesson.
okay. Okay, let me see what we did wrong here. Okay, yeah, we don't have to do anything in this one. Okay, okay.
And you do have a chapter 15 as well, but I don't think that has any assignment associated with it.
Doctor, I'm in the middle of a class. Send me a text message. Send me a text. Okay, sorry. It's one of the teachers. Okay, let me fix that. If not, it's okay. We don't have to worry because I just let me see them. Let me see. Okay, I'm working for you guys. So in the 14, developing leadership skill, that you say that it's not open. So, but 42% of people did it.
I
40,
did.
yeah, like
It's a
everybody
it's
did
a
it.
glitch. It's a glitch because it's not even showing as an assignment. It was showing last week, but if you go into the assignment page right now, it is not showing an activity 14. And even if I go into your lesson, it's still not letting me attempt those 12 questions. It may be available last week, but it's not available this week. I was actually looking at it on Monday because I was planning to do it ahead of time.
Let me see if you
I
can
think
see.
I think it has on the assignment. It's called activity week 14, final activity.
And that's
It's
it.
not the bottom. It's in the middle of the assignment page.
Look again because I'm
Yes,
in.
yes, I tried to do that, but it's still not letting me attempt the 12
Try now
questions.
because I think it's
Wow.
gonna
Yeah,
work.
Karim, I already done it. That's why I told you.
Almost a half of you did it. My
No, no,
system
no.
is.
I'm not saying I could see it last week, but this week it was
But
like it
try
was
now.
available on the. Okay, let me check. Let me check.
Yes, try
Karim,
now.
I just finished it hours ago, so you can check one more time.
Yeah, I think if you try, you will see it because it's gonna be there, um, and that's it. Nothing else to do. Once you do this 14, you are free of me for the whole until August, and that's it. You don't have to deal with that anymore. So yes, let's.
Professor, I have a question. We have to do the evaluation this semester because we didn't get any evaluation yet.
Um, Actually, there is the school put evaluation in the so you can complete.
I
Ma'am,
know that,
I've
but
done
it
mine.
is
You've not graded mine. I've done mine. If you go into my page, I have actually done mine 14. I was a little confused, but now when I go into the portal, I see I've answered all the questions.
yeah, man. You are so advanced. I know. So
Yeah,
I
he
had
did
did.
done it, but
everything.
when
You did
the teacher
everything
was saying, I
earlier.
was just making sure
So I
we're
hope
not
you
missing
you did
anything.
already.
Yeah, sorry, Karin, for that because you have
Oh,
a.
you're going to grade mine then?
Yeah, of course, I have
Okay,
to.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Don't worry. I just was not looking if you did it. I just was looking if it was open. So don't worry. You will have everything. Everybody will have everything. So yeah, basically half of the student did it. So it's good because that means you are free of this. You don't have to work with this anymore. And once, so make sure you do everything 1 until 14 and you are free of this class. But let me show you before you are free. Give me 1 second. Give me a
Professor, I have
few
a question.
seconds.
We have
Eh?
class next week.
Next week it's I'm gonna be here in the class. It's the chapter 15. We have some content pending to explain. Yes, we will have
But we don't have any activities next week, right?
no activity.
Thank you, Professor. You're the best.
No, that's it. You are free, and I will record everything else. So that's it. Let's go to the. Let's go real quick here again. Remember, everything is here. If you go to dashboard, you have your book here. You open it if you wanna read from that. But I have you here in the chapter with every other things, the presentation and the content. This is what we have this week. I think I'm not sharing now. Now I'm gonna share my screen. I was like telling you things, thinking that my screen was being shared, but no. So what I did is I opened the lesson 14, and when I open, you see the information is there. So look at the top, it says chapter 14, developing leadership skill, final activity. And that's all we have to do this week. Let me share my screen now. Let me show you now because I thought I was sharing my screen and I was not. Those are the questions here. For the final activity, you can take a picture if you want just to have an idea what is going on here. But just to answer that, at least one paragraph, and like I always tell you, one paragraph, 5 sentences at least, and then we answer that. What features of a training program are likely to make more effective? So what things you consider that can make a training more effective? What conditions facilitate learning? This is in your opinion, based in all your experience, knowledge, what we learn here, what we didn't learn here, what we learn outside. It doesn't matter. Say your opinion and based in your investigation, research, your reading, etc. How are special assignments relevant? We're gonna talk about this that I'm saying. How are special assignments relevant? What are the likely benefits of mentoring? All of this we're going to speak about. What are the most effective ways to use multi-source feedback? So let's do it now because you have an idea what is that. What features of a training program are likely to make it more effective? So here, use your creativity. What do you think can make a training more effective? For example, how interesting is for the managers, the topics, and the context, where is the training development, the resources that this training have. For example, does this training have video? Does this training have materials, reading material? What is this training is practice? Okay, so what kind of features this training have to be a good training? So let's say you are recommending somebody, how are you going to make a good training? You are an expert and you will tell them what to do. What condition facilitate learning from experience by managers? So what kind of aspects you think that make easy to learn? That's it. That's what you need to say. What conditions make easy the learning process? For example, if we have an environment that is set up with the conditions that it needs, or for example, if we have an instructor that provides the best experience for the users, things like that. We're going to keep seeing more of that. Don't worry. I'm just giving you an idea, okay? How is special assignment relevant for developing leadership skill? I'm talking about now the question number 3. A special assignment, what is that? So for example, I'm going to use Karim and Mohammed as an example because they were talking. So I say Mohammed and Karim, or one of you say Mohammed and Karim will have this special, they will launch a new product because they have the knowledge, the preparation, and you think they can do it well. So you give them a new project to these managers, to these directors, because they have the skill. So this is a special assignment when you design an activity that is particular for a manager, director, employee that will increase their abilities, will increase their knowledge, and etc. And also think about something. When you provide a special assignment to an employee, or one of your followers, one of your team members, think about how is the volume of the work they have. I mean, in simple words, how much work they have. Because if you have an employee that is overwhelmed and you are giving a special assignment to them, how much is going to impact in their behavior because you're giving them extra work. So think about this. What are the likely benefits of mentoring? What is that? A mentor, have somebody that is expert and help, let's say, one of you in certain parts of your leadership, in certain parts of your assignments in the job you have, or in the business that you have. You can have mentors as a business owner, as CEO, as manager, director, as any kind of job that you can imagine. You can have mentor. Actually, there are companies, organizations that have this policy. They usually you start with them and you have a mentor. You can have your own company and you can assign one of your team members to other employee that is new. a new person and you assign a mentor to this new employee. So all of this you can do. You can be a mentor, you can assign a mentor to somebody else, or you can be mentored, mentee. That's the word for that, mentee. When you are a mentee, you receive this mentoring from other people. Have you been in mentoring programs? Have you been a mentor? Have you been a mentor voluntary, or you have been mentee? Also, you can say your experience on that. If you have experience on that, tell me now, if you want to say it now, or you want to put it on the chat. What was your experience? I had the opportunity to be actually mentee in the federal government. When you start, some agencies do that. They assign you mentors and they help you, person usually with experience, and it's proof that they have success in their position, and you start from scratch. They assign you mentor. The content that you see in this chapter will tell you that mentoring programs provide a lot. The research shows that the mentoring programs provide like union, fraternity, like engagement in the organization. Imagine, like, for example, let's take Larissa as an example. So Larissa is my mentor, and I'm starting a new position in certain work or certain job, and Larissa is my mentor. So you get a lot of engagement with this mentor, admiration actually in the company when you have a good mentor. What about if you assign a mentor to other person? So you will see how your company can have some benefits on that, okay? So mentoring program. The most effective ways to use multi-source feedback workshops? What is that? What is that? Multi-source feedback workshop. This is getting knowledge from many ways. Different ways to obtain data about your employees, about your team members. For example, like I say when you start, what about if one of you sit down with other and look the evaluation and say, okay, those aspects we have a great development, some aspects we have to improve, etc. So this is, let's say, for example, 360 evaluation. So now we have a source of data. Remember, 360 is, let's put it simple, questionnaire. It's a questionnaire that evaluates different aspects of the leader. Okay, so now we have a source of information. You make a test, you make an evaluation to this person. But what about if you hire a executive coach? This is another way where you can develop the leadership. When you hire executive coach, you will see all of that in the information I will show you. The executive coach is a person that you hire in your organization to help your team to develop in certain area. So I'm talking about the question number 5 now. I explain you everyone. I hope you get some ideas how to answer, the ones that haven't answered yet, or more understanding of this, okay? So the number 5, getting different ways to obtain information for your employees. So right now, we are speaking about, remember, this topic is all about leadership development, how you can develop, how you can make your team better, how you can obtain the best from them and obtain the best from you as a leader, because as soon as you develop yourself, you can help your team to be better, of course, with training, with mentoring, with evaluation, with providing feedback. Okay, we mentioned the executive coach. We mentioned that executive coach is a mentor that you hire. Let's say mentor, but maybe it's a coach. Let's use this one. The coach that you hire. You hire for certain project. Usually, that's why they call executive coach. Why is the different with the mentor? Because the mentor is usually somebody that is in your organization, is there, it's having results. You will notice as leader, actually right now, in some of you, in the places that you develop your activities, you will see that somebody highlight. I was doing when we start, right? But this is not maybe the best example, right? Because you have many skills. It's not only the grade. I see many things on you, and it doesn't matter what grades you have. Okay, so all of these skills that you see on your team, you will notice, and you will notice which ones can be good mentors, trainers, or team leaders in your organizations, that you are in charge or that you are working. It doesn't matter this kind of job, any kind of job that you have, always think beyond. Even if your work is labor and is just this and you cannot do something else, or don't limit your brain. Always beyond, going high standard all the time. Think on that. If you want to put a simple thing all the time, like you are the owner, even if you are not, feel this entrepreneur, have this entrepreneur perspective, because this will take you to better development of you as individual and professional. And the rest of the things, as soon as you put your the best on you, the rest will work. So this is an explanation of the questions that we have, and that's it. We don't have anything else in this class. That's all. This is the final test, so that's everything. Nothing else to do for this semester. Developing leadership skill, that's what I was talking with you when we were explaining all of these questions. I mentioned you the leadership training program. People, if you want to say something, interrupt me. If you want to raise the hand, raise it. If you want to talk. If you want to put on the chat, just feel free to say whatever you want. If you have been in one of these programs in the past or now, tell me. We will love to hear your experience making the class faster, nice, and easy for all of us. So leadership training programs, that's what we mentioned. You will see all the summary here in the oh my goodness, in the all of this content. So pay attention to this part. There is a mistake here, features, but pay attention in this part, because this is the answer for the question 1. Take a picture. Is there in the page number 4 in your summary of your topic, desirable features for training programs. You remember what was the question? Mention some features for training program, and this is. And the question asks you, I think, I forgot exactly how many, I think 4. I forgot. You tell me, you correct me, because now I'm using my memory, but you have a lot here. You see? So specific learning objectives, content based on the needs. We mentioned that before. Clear content, appropriate sequencing, all of those topics. People, we don't know if tomorrow or now you have to develop training. Maybe you did it on the past. So the same way that we develop training is when you explain something to a class like we do right now, or like when you are doing any presentation. The same way. You will create your trainings, and those are some recommendations that can help you to create your trainings. What about if you have a training company tomorrow or you become executive coach? We don't know. So all of this, that's good that you know all of this kind of information, right? Because what about if you have a special assignment in one of your companies, and then you are assigned to create trainings. We don't know right now. We don't know all of the possibilities that you will have, right? So build self-confidence, multiple delivery methods, training sessions. You remember when I was saying, what about if you have videos? What about if you have writing material? All of these feedback, opportunity for practice, all of this we mentioned. So you have it here. Take a picture of this page because you will use it for your assignment. So here, more information about how to create the training, what to do when the training is over, what to do, meet with the person to discuss, make the objectives clear, assignments that require. So, for example, that means if you learn skills in leadership, or in customer service, who knows, in any kind of activity, now we make sure that those skills we can apply in our positions, in our organizations, okay? So more information about how to improve or how to maintain your self-development. What that means, your internal desire to develop your skills. That's what that means. More recommendation here about this, okay? Develop a vision, okay? Appropriate mentor, look for mentor. You can tell me, but how I can find mentor if I don't have resources in this organization that I have? Oh my goodness, it's done so quick. So if you don't have it, remember always we have a whole stack of data if we look on the internet. So this is a good way to start. If you want to invest in mentors for your organizations, also there are, resources that we can check in the web. And I wish that all of you become a good source of data that we can request for your expertise as mentors, executive coach in many organizations. People, I think that's it. You see, so short. I say, but what happened with this topic was so short. But this is in general a perspective of this application of the development of the leadership in the organization. Remember that also the feedback is essential in your team. Okay, so keep this in mind when you have your team members, to have clear communication. Try to maintain a way they can reach you easily. So you are a leader that is accessible to them, depending your area. In certain areas will be easy than others, but you have this in mind. Always taking the best of the teams that you have so you can develop them. Somebody achieve the real success when they are able to make others to have success. That's the real success, to make others have success. Okay, some people have many aspirations, and once they get it, they notice that we have to go to the basic instead of being in this continuously running for whatever. Running, like when you are in a treadmill, you go to nowhere, right? But like I do in the treadmill, going to nowhere, right? We don't want that for you. We want you going to places, right, that where you can develop your own skills. But these skills will help you to help others. Questions that you have, something, everybody's clear with what the activities that we have for this week, the 5 questions. Let me make sure we don't miss anything. So remember the ways that we can, develop the programs to develop leadership. We mentioned leadership training program. We mentioned the training already, okay. Learning from experience, It's another way to improve your leadership. I see a lot of people. Amount of challenge, variety of tasks. So variety of tasks is another way you can help your team improve or provide feedback. Don't forget this part. Multi-source feedback programs obtaining information from different ways. For example, reports, evaluations. We mentioned that, right? Developmental Assessment Center. Developmental Assessment Center, what is that? The word tell you a lot, center. So it's an organization external organization that is created for develop the leaders. So those are services that you can provide or service that you can request for your organization, okay? We mentioned the assignment. What is that? It's developmental assignment, a special project that, for example, one of you can have in the organizations that you work. And I know you have experience on that. You can tell me if you have been on this. For example, let's say that in any organization that you have been, they tell you, oh, we need to create, for example, now I'm thinking in my experience in education, the achievement, the honor, there was an activity that we created, I want to do this year, but it's something that is the honor students, right? So the honor students receive certain, motivation. And that was a special project I did for education in the past. And, those are things you have been assigned in certain moments in your life. And I am sure you had those in your life. If you have experience, tell me and we can share. Executive coaching. I remember I told you this. Executive coaching, somebody that you hire to provide you service in your organization. Simulation. Simulation is another way that you can develop leadership. Simulation, what is that? We do this in the class in certain way when we analyze case study. Remember when we analyzed the case study for Don and Betty that there was a problem between them, some instructions were not clear, then they had a special meeting where some things were not managed good, correctly. So those are, we can say a little example for simulation. Also, there are systems, computer systems that are focused on that, to put you in a special case so you decide what to do. Imagine like you are like in a virtual world where you decide what is the best option, simulation. That's what that means. So this is a way when you can create experience for your team. Personal growth programs. It doesn't need too much explanation. Personal growth, but it's more based on psychology principle. Okay, so usually you will have external resources that help your team on that. Or you can be a person that is focused on the personal growth if you have knowledge in human behavior, psychology, etc. Okay, so those are in general all the aspects. Don't forget the learning climate. Learning climate, what is that? We create an environment in the organization that is able, helping the people to learn. That's what that means. Support by the boss. I tell you to create a channel where you can communicate with your team. And that's what that means. Developmental readiness. I mentioned that when we start the class, but I said again, finding in yourself the best way to improve. That's what that means. Okay, so in general, that's all that we have to mention in the development of the leadership. And I think that's it, that we don't need to record anything else right now. Tell me if you want to say something, if there is something that catch your attention. Okay, here, manage recording. Stop presenting. I don't know how to, let me 1 second now. I will stop the recording. Everybody's clear with the question.